Yes, I don't know that I could hang my hat on any one thing. I think it could be a number of things. Certainly I'm concerned about terrorism. I'm certainly concerned about proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. As you know, our president just hosted one about concerns about nuclear security, nuclear weapon security. I think irrational actors like North Korea are of concern. But I don't think there's any one thing that I would say is the greatest threat to global humanity. And again, I would rather couch it in, I think there's some great opportunities for global humanity. And so kind of look at a half full glass rather than a half empty. And I think there's no better example than the way we work together as partners out here in this part of the world. And you can see what wonderful things come out of that sort of stuff. So I would look at it that way. Than that, we are an important piece of it. Actually, we work closely as strong allies for the defense of South Korea from North Korea aggression. Of course, that tends to spill out outside of North Korea because they have a bad habit of occasionally launching a missile. So we have an establishment on the peninsula called United States Forces Korea, and Combined Forces Command that works very closely with South Korea in a partnership, and we are the maritime or the Navy piece of that. So we work and exercise with the Republic of Korea Navy to work together toward defense of South Korea, and as well as security out there in the seas in and around the Korean Peninsula. So we are one part of it. We are the Navy part. There's an Air Force part with the 7th Air Force, and then there is an Army part with the 8th Army. China is a wonderful growing country, and it's very prosperous, and it's becoming a greater and greater global player in terms of its economy, in terms of its trade, and its interaction with many countries. And with that, naturally, they grow a navy. Our concern is that there be transparency and understanding of the growth of their navy and their military. And we have some concerns about the nature of that military with some of the weapons they are buying and the offensive nature of those. But having said that, we view as China as an opportunity to engage, and we hope we get beyond this current situation where there is no mill-to-mill, military-to-military engagement, and look forward to working with the Chinese at some time in the future. For example, right now, they are participating in the Gulf of Aden against anti-piracy. We would like to see China do humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. As I described, one of the great challenges out here is typhoons, earthquakes, and tsunamis. We would like to see the Chinese, with their great resources, participate in that. We have offered them aid and help in the earthquake. So that sort of activities, and I think if we work closely with other partners, we can engage responsibly with China and hope to shape their future to be responsible. It's interesting. It's in many ways different but the same. I think what happened is during the Cold War, the United States was very focused on the former Soviet Union, and that very much preoccupied us. I think below that were many of the things we see today. When the Cold War thankfully ended, these other things, these other challenges, which might have been there in the first place, revealed themselves. And some of them kind of peaked, and that would have been the terrorism. But in this part of the world, I think the U.S. has been out in the Pacific for a very long time. We have some territories, Guam out here, and of course the U.S. 7th Fleet has been out here since World War II. So we have long-term habitual relationships. We have 5 strong allies, and I just mentioned Thailand since 1833. So in the Cold War, it was a focus on the former Soviet Union, and since then, and beneath that, has been a focus across the globe, and always out here in Asia, recognizing how important it was, not only to Asians, but to the United States, as we establish security at sea and allow the sea lines of communication to be open for the benefit of all. well, we have 5 allies, and they're all very important, coming at it from different angles. But you know, we can't do it alone. None of us can, and so each and every ally is critically important. Again, for different reasons. You know, some it's for working together for anti-piracy and terrorist threats. In the case of the Koreans, it's because of the threat of North Korea. So each fills a different niche, but it's the collective togetherness of these maritime partners that allow us to enjoy a safe and secure Western Pacific and a prosperous Asia. And that can be said across the globe in different things, but I'll focus on my part of the world, as I say, the Western Pacific.